eating right out of the thing, guys. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm doing it now. I've not been feeling the best. I'm sorry. The place is a mess. I'm sorry. Not sorry because life goes on. We're just gonna have some noodles. I don't know if these noodles are any good because when I moved, the movers put some of the stuff that was supposed to be in the freezer, they put it in the same box as the fridge. So we're gonna have some yogurt, Korean flavored soju. I did put an ice cube because I'm boiling hot right now. And it was on the counter, so I guess I might have lost some of the people that used to come and see me. Oh, hi. How are you, Dr. Negativo? Cheers. I'm eating out of the pot. Where are you located? Where are you? Enjoy your meal. Yes, thank you, sir. Doctor, thank you. Please press like. My mouth isn't working. Ooh, this is spicy. What did I do? Where are you located? Spain! I wish I could say something and be witty to you, but I don't know too much Spanish. Other than, is this called a cerveza? Barcelona! Barcelona. I've been to Barcelona. Yes. Universidad? Something like that. I was on a road, Universidad, and they had live performers and buskers. Universidad, sorry. I have not been there since they're about 2001 or so. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit of an eye-opener where you got to see, you got to get live chicken. You wanted to go to the market to get something to eat. You didn't get it like we do here in Canada. You go to the store, it's already killed, guts taken out, the feathers defeathered, whatever you call it. But when I went there, they had these little creatures in cages, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why would they bring their animals to work with them? They're like, those animals are for sale. That's what the people are going to be buying. I'm like, oh. So. Barcelona. Guys, I gave myself too much to eat here. Ooh, and it's too spicy. What time is it where you are in Barcelona? What else did I do when I was there? I have to try and use my brain. We have what? Extranger people. Are you trying to say you have extravagant people, or are they strange? What time is it where you are? Doctor? Doctor! Oh my God, you just reminded me, but duh. When I went to Barcelona, I went with a doctor. I went with my doctor. / friends with benefits friend. I miss him so much. I wish I could see him again. Have any of you ever heard of the book? This book? Lord of the Flies? I've never read it before, but I'm thinking we're going to get to the next chapter. It's getting into the heat of things. Cheers. I'm eating in the living room because the other day I went to have, I don't know if these are too hot to handle. The other day I hope these are good still. I'd be so mad if they're not. They don't look the best. Oh. Is my Ow. I didn't hear what you said or read it quick enough. I do not think this is any good, guys. Whoa! What the heck? It's all... I don't know if you could see that. Ew. Oh my goodness. Ay, 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 ay. La, 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 la. Dee, 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 dee. Excuse me a moment while I clean up my mouth. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, dang it. I can't believe these are no good. They had them, it's as though broken claws broke off. The crabs, these are crab legs, by the way, I'm eating. It's the crab legs, it's like, there's all these crabs in the box. When I was looking at the one box, there was like, they looked like they were dead. Not fresh in water, they were just like dry in a box. And I kind of questioned it. But you always think people know what they're doing. So I thought, well, they must have just got in, they must be fresh. And so I just grabbed a lot of legs that was in a package. And unbeknownst to moi, mi amor, I've never tried it like this, but I was kind of curious. Oh, what is it saying? Is a lobster pork crab or... Oh my gosh. I'm scared to eat it if it's bad. Feels nice and tender. I didn't think it needed to be cooked too long. I'm sorry, I'm not the best at responding. And when you speak, and if I'm not paying attention in the picture, the words go by. Oh, I'm too slow to read it. Guys, how do you know if this stuff is good or not? Ow. Ow. Wee. There's a bunch of cats around here. So maybe it won't go to waste. Ah, biting my finger. Ah. Breaking my teeth and biting my finger. I do not trust this, guys. I'm kind of getting scared to eat it. Ouch. Look at this thing. Oh. Isn't that interesting? The way it looks. Anyways, his name was Dr. Cummins. Not Cummings. Cummins. Without the G on the end. He took me traveling around the world. And it was quite interesting, though, because I went there when he was working, I was not as brave to go venturing around by myself too far. I was much younger then. I cannot do this. I can't trust that this is no good. The flavor is just very, very slightly off. I'm in the mood for sushi. Who else likes sushi? I'm hankering for some seafood. You know what I would really like is to go to a sushi buffet. I've been dying to go to one. I forget the name of it now, but it's $40 for all you can eat. Probably end up coming to $50 for all you can eat. I'm glad to meet you and talk with you, but I need to go I need to go with my daughter. Okay. Pardon me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have fun with your daughter. Have fun, fun, fun. Where are you guys going? What's your daughter? What are you doing? Are you going out? God, I forget what I did over there besides, that was the one highlight. Because at the time I used to work, anyway, whoever is listening, if anybody's still here live, but you'll listen later, is that at the time that I went to Barcelona and Spain and different parts of the world, I was in Andorra La Vella, and different areas. The only reason I think that the Universidad sticks in my head is because I was working at a university before going to travel. And it turned out that my ex-husband's last name was Cummings. So that when I got with this guy, his name was Cummins, when I went through the border, they're like, oh, you got something with the Cummins do you? And I was like, what? I didn't even really get what he was saying, but later I was like, oh, okay. Because Cummins, the doctor was from Dublin 9, Dublin, Ireland. And Cummings, my ex-husband, was from the States, Massachusetts. She is little. Oh, goo goos. She's a little boo-boos. She gives you lots of boo-boos in the diaper. Sorry. I know, my jokes are stupid sometimes. She need my attention. Kisses. Yeah. They always do. What a crap that this stuff is no good. Wasting again. Hold on, I have to wash my hands. I can't eat this. Oh. Ew, that stuff tastes weird. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Wonder what Elon Musk is up to these days. I have not been going to any of his sites lately. Because all this stuff with the war, I know he's inadvertently, likely, somehow, conscious knows, and there's two PQs in the mix. He deceived me when he lied. I don't know nothing about alien ships or whatever he said, and it was like, oh, shite, as if you don't know nothing. I mean, I know. And I don't know. But what I know. There's definitely something out there, like, duh. This whole scam saying that he's going to be bringing people to Mars. Mars is uninhabitable, you weenier. Oh, bummer. What a mess. Oh, let's move this out of the way. Enough of this. Let's put it here. Ugh. Let's read. I'm just so happy that I can read again, guys. My brain is getting healthier all the time. Okay, so we're right at the end of the last chapter. Now, oh my God. So we're going to be reading William Golding. I'm almost saying something from another guy that I watched on videos. Anyways, Lord of the Flies. William Golding's first novel is now recognized as a modern classic. In the words of E.M. Foster, Lord of the Flies begins like a Ballantine yarn, but ends grimly otherwise. Beautifully written, tragic, and provocative. Golding knows exactly what boys are like. He has a compelling imagination and vivid realism with which he describes the disintegration of their untried and precarious civilization under the pressure of raw nature, carries the reader to the bloody climax a most absorbing and instructive tale by the Times. So, we read chapter 1. Let me see here. It doesn't go by chapters. It just goes by, oh yeah. Chapter 1 was the sound of the shells. They had this conch and they gathered, they were abandoned on a beach. An island, I meant. There was a plane crash, so there was a bunch of the kids. So the sound of the shell in chapter 1 describes how, they had to be a front man, so he got the say. So there was 3 of them, of the kids, who decided to have a say. But there was one guy who's actually had found the shell, and he wanted to be the one who said what would be happening. And they dubbed him the name Piggy, or something like that. But let's read it and jolt my memory. So we got past the fire of the mountain. We started the second chapter into where it tells us that there was a fire that was started on the mountain because the kids were wanting to eat. They wanted to make their now home comfortable, and they needed to make sure they had something to cook food on, which would have been pigs, I think it was. So we were at the end. No, or did we get to? Oh no, we got past that. And then we got to huts on the beach. And unfortunately, I don't remember that at the moment, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going on because I'm getting better all the time. I'm remembering all the time more and more of everything that I read. It's just been a little while since I read it. That's why I'm a tiny bit at a miss of it at the moment, but everything's good. I'm always remembering more and more. I'm always getting better. I'm always getting smarter, stronger, faster. How did the show go for the $1 Million Man? It was something like he was smarter, faster than any man before, something like that. Anyways, that's me. I'm faster like the Bionic Woman. Who knows that story, the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman? Anyways, I always loved that show. Star Trek and the Bionic Man and Woman, those type of things. What else? What was that girl? Wonder Woman? Who knows those shows? I'm dating myself, yes. Okay, back to the book. William Golding, Lord of the Flies, Chapter 3. We are on page 37, and we're at the second to last paragraph in mid-page, 2/3 way up the page, and here we go. He picked his way up the scar past the great rock where Ralph had climbed on the first morning, then turned off to his right among the trees. He walked with an accustomed tread through the acres of fruit trees. I'm not doing the best today. The damn stuttering is happening. I hate when I stammer. When I initially had this accident, I was stuttering crazily. Now I just stammer a bit, so I'm always getting better, but let's keep going. So he walked with the accustomed tread through the acres of fruit trees, where the least energetic could. I'm going to keep reading, guys. I'm sorry I have to force myself. I'm sorry it doesn't sound the best at the moment, but it's going to get better. We'll get through this together. He walked with an accustomed tread through the acres of the fruit trees, where the least energetic could find an easy if unsatisfying meal. flower and fruit grew together on the same tree, and everywhere was a scent of ripeness and the booming of a million bees at pasture. Here, the Litlands, the Litlands who had run after him caught up with him. They talked, cried out unintelligibly, almost like I'm reading, lugged him towards the trees. Then, amid the roar of bees in the afternoon sunlight, Simon found for them the fruit they could not reach, pulled off the choices from up in the foliage, passed them back down to the endless outreached hands. When he satisfied them, he paused and looked around. The Litlands watched him inscrutably over double handfuls of ripe fruit. Simon turned away from them and went where the just perceptible path had him. Simon turned away from them and went where the just perceptible path led him. Soon a high jungle closed in. Tall trunks bore unexpected pale flowers all the way up the dark canopy wherever life went on clamorously. I need glasses, guys. I haven't been to an optometrist in ages. Anyways, the air here was dark too, and the creepers dropped their ropes like the ringing of foundered ships. His feet left prints in the soft soil, and the creepers shivered throughout their length when he bumped them, excuse me. Getting ideas of my own here. Anyways, and no, nothing to do with kids. Just keep thinking of this guy. Sorry. Anyways, he came at last to the place where more sunshine fell. Since they had not so far to go for light, the creepers had woven a great mat that hung at the side of an open space in the jungle. For here, a patch of rock came close to the surface and would not allow more than little plants and ferns to grow. The whole space was walled with dark aromatic bushes and was a bowl of heat and light. A great tree, fallen across one corner, leaned against the trees that still stood, and a rapid climber flaunted red and yellow sprays right at the top. I'm not reading it over, sorry, we're stretching through, going. Simon paused. He looked over his shoulder as Jack had done at the close ways behind him. and glanced swiftly round to confirm that he was utterly alone. For a moment, his movements were almost furtive. You know, this is like a grade 5 level, and there's words in here I do not understand. But let's keep going. We didn't get to eat, but I'll have to get something to eat shortly. I just can't eat this at risk that it's no good because I don't want to get a belly ache. So, then he bent down. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, this is better. For a moment, his movements were almost furtive. Then he bent down and wormed his way into the center of the mat. The creepers and the bushes were so close that he left his sweat on them and they pulled together behind him. When he was secure in the middle, he was in a little cabin screened off from the open space by a few leaves. He squatted down, parted the leaves, and looked out into the clearing. Nothing moved but a pair of gaudy butterflies that danced round each other in the hot air. Holding his breath, he cocked a critical ear at the sounds of the island. Evening was advancing towards the island. The sounds of the bright, fantastic birds, the bees' sounds, even the crying of the gulls that were returning to their roosts among the square rocks were fainter. The deep sea, breaking miles away on the reef, made an undertone less perceptible than the susurration of blood. Simon dropped the screen of leaves back into place. The slope of the bars of honey-colored sunlight decreased. They slid up to the bushes, passed over the green candlelight buds, moved up towards the canopy, and darkness thickened under the trees. With the fading of the light, the righteous colors died, and the heat of the urgency cooled away. The candle buds stirred. I'm sorry guys, this is giving me a headache. But we're going to continue and at least finish this next chapter. You have to put up with me. It's exercise for me. I need to keep going. So whether you understand me, whether I understand me, life goes on. Now that the sunlight had lifted clear of the open space and withdrawn from the sky, darkness poured out, submerging the ways between the trees, till they were dim and strange as the bottom of the sea. The candle buds opened their wide, white-flowered, glimmering under the light that pricked down from the first stars. Their scent spilled out into the air and took possession of the island. C'est la fin de chapter 3. La fin de chapter 3. On continue. Chapter 4. Painted faces and long hair. Page 60. The first rhythm that they became used to was the slow swing from down the quick dusk, from dawn to quick dusk. They accepted the pleasures of morning, the bright sun, the whelming sea, and sweet air as a time when play was good and life so full that hope was not necessary and therefore forgotten. Towards noon, as the floods of light fell more nearly to the perpendicular, the stark colors of the morning were smooth and pearl and opulence, and the heat, as though the impending sun's height gave it momentum, became a blow that they ducked, running to the shade and lying there, perhaps even sleeping. Again, guys, sorry, this is part of my concussion. I am getting better all the time. I'm always getting better, and I'm always reading faster and more legibly, understanding, being understood, blah, blah. Strange things happened at midday. The glittering sea rose up, moved apart its plains, and blatant impossibility, the coral reef, and the few stunted palms that clung to the more elevated parts would float up into the sky, would quiver, be plucked apart, then run like raindrops on a wire, or be ripened as in an odd succession of mirrors. Sometimes land loomed where there was no land and flicked out like a bubble as the children watched. Piggy discounted all this, learnedly as a mirage, and since no boy could reach even the reef over the stretch of water where the snapped sharks waited, they grew accustomed to these mysteries and ignored them, just as they ignored the miraculous throbbing stars. At midday, the illusions merged into the sky, and there the sun gazed down like an angry eye. Then at the end of the afternoon, the mirage subsided and the horizon became level and blue and clipped as the sun declined. That was another time of comparative coolness, but minutes by the coming of the dark. When the sun sank, darkness dropped on the island like a like an extinguisher. And soon the shelters were full of restlessness under the remote stars. Nevertheless, the Northern European tradition of work, play, and food right through the day made it impossible for them to adjust themselves wholly to this new rhythm. The Littlelands Percival had thoroughly crowded into a shelter and stayed there for 2 days, talking, singing, and crying, till they thought him batty and were faintly amused. Ever since then, he had peaked, red-eyed, and miserable, a little one who played little and cried often. The smaller boys were known now by the genetic title of Littlelands. The decrease in size from Ralph down was gradual, and though there was a dubious region inhabited by Simon and Robert and Maurice, nevertheless, no one had any difficulty in recognizing Biggins as at one end and Littlelands at the other. The undoubted Littlelands, those aged about 6, led a quite distinct and at the same time intense life of their own. They ate almost of the day, picking fruit where they could reach it, and not particular about ripeness and quality. They were used now to stomach aches and a sort of chronic diarrhea. They suffered untold terrors in the dark and huddled together for comfort. Apart from food and sleep, they found time to play. They found time for play. Aimless and trivial. Oh, guys, this is hurting my head badly. I think forcing myself is not a good thing. I had a long day yesterday. Let's just finish this page, okay, please? Let's finish this chapter at least. It makes me a little sickly when I strain too much after this concussion to force myself to do stuff. But we got more than half an hour in, so I'm doing okay. We're doing good. They ate most of the day picking fruit where they could reach it, and not particular about ripeness and quality. They were used to now stomach aches and a sort of chronic diarrhea. They suffered untold terrors in the dark and huddled together for comfort. Apart from food and sleep, they found time for play, aimless and trivial. among the white sand by the bright water. They cried for their mothers much less often than might have been expected. They were very brown and filthily dirty. They obeyed the summons of the conch, partly because Ralph blew it, and he was big enough to be a link with the adult world of authority, and partly because they enjoyed the entertainment of the assemblies. But otherwise they seldom bothered with the Begums and their passionately emotional and corporate life was their own. They had built castles in the sand at the bar of the little river. These castles were about 1 foot high and were decorated with shells, withered flowers, and interesting stones. Round the castles was a complex of marks, tracks, walls, railway lines that were the significance only if inspected with the eye at beach level. The little ones played here, if not happily, at least with absorbed attention, and often as many as 3 of them would play the same game together. Just give them a headache. Who wants me to keep reading? Can you understand what I'm saying? I kind of can. I don't like to read when I can't remember it. No. It's hurting my head too much, guys. I'm sorry. Let's finish here. All right. We did sort of a chapter. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Always read to your capacity. Don't read something that's too hard. Definitely challenge yourself. If there's words you can't understand, look it up and then go back and reread and make sure you understand what the heck you're reading. Because what's the point of reading if you don't understand what you're reading? So, with that, I am going to finish my little bit of soju wine. I'm going to rinse this shellfish off, let it soak in a little water, and then put it outside. I'm sure there's some cats in the area. There's mega cats, both inside and outside my building. So I'm not just going to throw it out and just put it in the dumpster. I mean, geez, this is good food. I paid freaking $7 for this crab. So let's rinse off the noodles, rinse off the spice. I'm just going to throw it to the side of the dumpster. Worst comes to worst, The mice will get fat and healthy, and the cats will still benefit. But me throwing $7 out, blatantly just feeling as though I'm throwing money away, no, I can't do that. I'd rather put it to the side a little bit in a spot. I'll pick a spot that I can call my little givings or whatever to the little creatures. Feel bad for the creatures, guys. All the freaking pesticides and garbage that's put out there. Poor little animals. So do what you can to save the creatures. If you like them or not. Too bad. They are part of our world. So be good, be kind. Thank you again. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And blessings back to me. Thank you. See you in the next videos.